As you've heard, today marks the beginning of class for Lincoln County School students. Students will head in for a half day to begin the 2021-2022 school year. And joining us now is Lincoln County School Superintendent Dr. Bill Heath. Now, Dr. Heath, thanks for joining us this morning.
Hey, good morning. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with a question everyone wants to know. Will masks be
Sure.
required this year?
No, masks are recommended, but they're not required. We spent the entire school year last year with the same rule in place, and that's the way we're going to start this year.
Yeah, good to know. And so going into this year, what is the biggest lesson y'all think y'all learned last year as far as facing COVID?
Well, I think the biggest lesson had to do with student learning and the students who were virtual. Last year, we tried to allow our teachers to have kids that were both in class and virtual. And that became a logistical nightmare for the teachers, very stressful. And so this year, we're not starting that at all. We don't plan on doing that. If a kid wants to be virtual in Lincoln County schools this year for the entire year or for a semester, they will need to join our virtual school, Lincoln Central Virtual Academy, which we opened about 3 years ago.
Something really neat about this year that we heard is y'all actually received a grant to offer free COVID testing at the end of this month. Tell us more about that.
Sure. We applied for and received a little over $1 million grant where we'll provide COVID-19 testing to our students and our staff that have symptoms. They have to have at least one symptom, and it's at no cost, and we'll be prepared to begin that near the end of the month. We actually hired two new nurses to administer that program. So it'll be at every site. We'll have pop-up facilities that will rotate around to our 7 schools. And if that site's not there that day, then our nurses on site might be able to give the test, or the parent can take their child to one of the sites that is open in our school system on that particular day. One thing I want to note is that only students who have a signed active parental permission, and before we give a student a test, we will call the parent and verify that. So
yeah, that's definitely good to know. It's something maybe other districts can take after. We're going to end with this. What is one thing you want parents to know before class starts today?
That we're still taking every precaution that we can take and should be taking. Our classrooms will be sanitized daily. Our buses will be cleaned daily. Our social distancing, we will be observing our 3-foot rule and social distancing, and that with the grant that we received, our entire goal this year is for our kids to be in person in school every day, because we're all about student learning, and I know that that's the best way for our students to learn.
All right, we were hearing from Superintendent Dr. Bill Heath with Lincoln County Schools. Thank you so much for joining us. And to find out more about back to school plans